Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to talk start collecting Warhammer the Horus Heresy, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Iron Warriors. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about the Iron Warriors special rule before having a look at a couple of units we recommend to get started with for this particular faction, and then we'll look at some other units we can use to expand upon the initial purchases we make in this video, and then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use, hopefully as some inspiration for starting your own force of the Iron Warriors in Warhammer the Horus Heresy. And so, the special rule for Iron Warriors, it is a little bit niche, and it's called Rack and Ruin. When a model with the special rule makes a shooting attack or a melee attack action targeting a model with the Dreadnought, Automata, vehicle or building unit type, they gain +1 strength to the attack. Now, like I said, this is pretty niche, because there are going to be forces you play that don't have an awful lot of this. This does mean, in particular scenarios, the Iron Warriors become very, very good. If you're playing like siege scenarios, if you're playing against a force that has heavy sort of mechanized contingents, AdMech in particular don't like playing Iron Warriors with the amount of damage you can put onto their Automata. It's pretty cool. It definitely is niche, but we do get some really cool things with Iron Warriors besides this as well. We've got some really interesting units on them, and we also have some fun sort of upgrades for the force as well, along with some specialist weapons for the Iron Warriors as well that do help us in, say, fighting against hordes, which, you know, our special rule here doesn't. So we're not without more versatility than just this. I think just the rule on itself is a little bit of a niche rule, but there are other things that help spread out the Iron Warriors' ability to deal with other threats on the tabletop. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, to start with, first of all, let's talk about one of those Legion special upgrades, and this is the Warsmith. Now, the Warsmith is an upgrade that you can use on a single Legion Praetor, Cataphracte Praetor, or Tartarus Praetor, so effectively any form of Praetor. It is a 20-point upgrade, and what it does is gives you a Cortex controller and servo arm, and you also gain the Master of Automata rule, which means you can join Automata units, and the Battlesmith 3+ rule. It does stop you taking any sort of movement upgrade equipment, so things like Legion Sparta combat bikes, Scimitar jet bikes, or Legion Warhawk jump packs and stuff like that can't be taken by the Warsmith. But I think what this opens up is pretty fun, and also this is, you know, the most thematic character you can possibly grab for your Iron Warriors. Now, joining him to start with, I'd recommend just grabbing some Tactical Marines. You're going to need them regardless of what force you play in the Horus Heresy. Tactical Marines are just going to be something you need. They're great objective holders. They can hold backfield objectives and supply fire to the midfield, or hold midfield objectives and supply fire into your opponent's deployment zone, which is really nice. So they can have, you know, actual activity on the tabletop while they're holding objectives. But also, when you are playing with Iron Warriors, you can upgrade all of your bolt weapons, so bolt pistols, bolt guns and stuff like that, to shrapnel bolters, which are really fun. These provide you with the pinning special rule. They do lower a little bit of their range, but they do definitely give you some other options. I think the pinning special rule is especially nice if you are playing against low leadership hordes, so thinking things like Astra Militarum and stuff like that. They aren't necessarily going to be the bravest troops on the table, so being able to pin them in place is nice. Now, you can also choose to give shrapnel cannons and gravis shrapnel cannons to some of your heavier troops as well, which is another nice option. So for me, I really do like tactical squads. I think they can fulfill a role, and like I said at the beginning of the video, the fact that you've got these shrapnel weapons here with pinning can really help sort of focus in on some hordes, give you a few extra shots in there, but also just enable you to dictate the battle a little bit more with some pinning effects. And so, obviously, where to go next? A Rhino, I think, is incredibly important. Like I said, with the shrapnel weapons, you do gain a shorter range on your weaponry, so having something that can deliver those shorter range weapons into the enemy is incredibly important. Rhinos are great for tactical squads. It allows you to affect the battle in more different ways, it allows you to move deeper into the table, allows you to move faster across the table as well, and get to where they need to be when you want them to be there. And so, yeah, Rhinos, always great for any of your troops choices you take. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about, because we have gone with the Warsmith, the Iron Circle Maniple. Now, this is an automated unit. It is an elite option, and you can include quite large units of these. Now, They come standard with a shrapnel cannon, and they've also got a gravitation maul as well. And the Katsari battle shield is there as well. They've also got a bunch of their own special rules. So for starters, the Katsari battle shield gives the model a 5 up invulnerable save, and any model with this shield that suffers an unsaved wound when the instant death rule is not immediately removed, but instead loses D3 wounds instead. Pretty cool, considering they have 5 wounds each as well, so really nice. Now, you do have a few special rules. You've got Hammer of Wrath 3 on them and Relentless. You've also got the Moving Bulwark rule, which when a model with a special rule is in base contact with another friendly model that also has a Moving Bulwark rule, they can increase their invulnerable save by 1 step to a maximum of 4+. And then the Shield of the Iron Tyrant as well. They can actually become a retinue for some of your squads. Now, they are a Cybernetica unit subtype. This does provide some additional sort of rules that you need to. So you do need to have a Cortex controller and a unit. So your Warsmith really needs to be in there. And he can actually lead the unit of them, which is pretty darn cool. Now, moving on, we then have the Tyrant Siege Terminators. These are an incredibly expensive unit. They come in quite expensive, but I do think they provide so much for the Force. The fact you have your Tyrant Rocket Launcher, which has 3 different weapon profiles. So it has a Skyfire weapon option of flak, you've got the crack, and you've got your frag missile options there. They can just be such a good weapon option for your Force. You've also got Firing Protocols 2, the Inexorable rule as well. And they've got Omniscope options as well for the unit, which a unit that includes at least 1 model with Omniscope ignores all effects of night fighting as well. So really solid. Like, they've got Power Fists on them, they're in Cataphractate armor. You can also upgrade them to have Chain Fist, Twin Lightning Claws, or Grenade Harnesses on the Siege Master if you want as well. Now, lastly for these, we then have the Legion Rapier weapon batteries. These are a piece of siege equipment you can take for your Force. They're going to provide you with some decent firepower that can sort of move across the table at a pretty slow rate, but, you know, Legion Gunner 7, the Rapier carrier is 4, so they can still move. Now, you also have a variety of different weapon options on them as well. They can choose to have as standard, they will get their cool weapon, which is the Gravis Heavy Bolted Battery, and then you've also got options for laser destroyers, gravitation cannons, and quad launchers with frag shells, which can be upgraded to other versions of shells as well. So there's definitely some cool weapon options to play around with them, and they can fill a variety of different roles depending on what weapon option you wish to take. And so here we have our sample army list. So we're obviously playing with the Iron Warriors, and we've got a Warsmith who's going to be our Warlord. Now we have gone with the Tyrant of the Dodecathon as our Warlord trait here. This is one of the Iron Warriors specific Warlord traits that we've taken. What this does is after all armies have been deployed onto the battlefield before scout moves and infiltrators are placed, the controlling player of the Warlord with this trait may effectively nullify a piece of terrain or fortification on the battlefield, turn it into difficult and dangerous terrain, and remove its benefit of cover. Now, in addition, you also get an extra reaction in your opponent's shooting phase as well, which is really nice. Now, we've then just got a bolt pistol and power axe on the model. This is what the model we have standard comes with. And then we've got, for elites, a single Dominator Ferrum in an Iron Circle Maniple, and then 2 Rapier weapon batteries in there. We've gone with Graviton cannons on them as the main weapon. We then have a tactical squad, which is going to have the shrapnel bolters, and this unit will have a Dozer Blade Heavy Flamer equipped Rhino. And then our other tactical squad will just be stock standard. We then have our Tyrant Siege Terminator squad, no extra upgrades, so just Power Fists, Combi Bolters, and those Tyrant missile launchers as well on the unit, to round us out at a perfect 1,000 points for the Iron Warriors. If you've got some ideas on how you build up your own Iron Warrior force for Warhammer the Horus Heresy, let us know your thoughts about it down in the comments below. And that's the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and also drop a comment down below letting us know what you thought about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. You can use one of our affiliate links to Gap Games or Element Games if you're in Australia or the United Kingdom, or you can subscribe to our YouTube members or Patreon, or grab some merch from our merch stores on Teespring or Ko-fi. All the best ways to help support the channel. As a special thanks to all our Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patrons: Broken Chef, Andy C, Grimskull, Colorblind Magic, Benjamin Swallows, James Cater, Mark Harvey, Domir, Average Wargamer, JJ Austrian, Cure Dynamic, Andrew Bowen, Outer and Shot First, Kenny Lowell, and Soren. and to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lockloric, the Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, John Castle, and Gargamel196. Thank you all once again for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.